all for coming. First on the agenda is privilege of the floor. Please state your name and address for the record.
Peter Perkinson, 212 Wood Hill Road. To the chairman, to the Finance Board, I'd like to address the hearing impaired. About a year ago, I wrote a letter to the Board of Selectmen. I spelled out the fact that I am hearing impaired, and I've had this since I was in third grade, due to scarlet fever. I made requests to boards and commissions, and the Board of Selectmen sent a letter out requesting that they be followed. I'm very pleased tonight, after a meeting last night where I was clueless what was going on because the PA system didn't work. Conversations are going on among people on that board or commission. Tonight you're all facing the audience, which is a requirement for someone who reads lips. When you don't even know that you have to do this, it makes it very difficult, especially when you're a kid. So I made the request. It has gone unheeded, but tonight I came to make the request to face the audience, which you're doing. Thank you very much. You're also volunteers. There should be beaten up. Don't cover your mouth when you speak, and if there is a PA system available, I hope it works and it's available to you. It's very difficult to serve them when they don't know what's going on. They can hear sounds, but they may not be able to decipher words. And the Board of Selectmen has made a request. There's a member present at the meeting, and she praised me for coming forward and making that situation known. I'm going to be there because there is an American Disability Act in boards and commissions. I know the volunteers need to serve the public in such a way that they know what's going on. Thank you very much.
I wanted to mention first that this meeting is being videotaped for those who wanted to speak. Does anybody else want to speak on the privilege of the floor?
Dr. McDougall from 84 Little Rock Turnpike. In the few years I've been in town, we have always trusted the Board of Finance to look over our shoulders and do what's right for the town. Not for individuals, not for groups, but what's best for the town. And I don't think that has changed today at all. I don't see the cooperation between the Selectmen and the Board of Finance that we used to have. We used to be able to go to the Board of Finance and say, hey, I think we got a problem here, we could look at it. And there wasn't, and there is today, a certain amount of antagonism between my friend Jerry, who I helped get elected, and the Board of Finance. I see no reason for that at all. I don't see any reason for, I can see things that happened in the past when we first started with a new selectman on this salary payroll thing, that we got off to a wrong start. But that's done and gone with now. We need to look out what's best for the town. These are tough times. Government is too big. I don't hear Mr. Stonsky saying that, and I don't hear this board saying that. In fact, the only person that stood up and addressed it was your chairman at the school board and said, this budget's too big. I would have much rather seen this board in total go down here and say, stop it. The school board, under the last superintendent, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of wasted our tax money. If you only knew what was going on, if you attended the meetings, you would have known what was going on. 20% of our kids in the lower elementary grades are achieving to the state level. Isn't that great? You don't have to send them to Woodbury or Bethlehem. You can send them to Bridgeport or Hartford or Stanford or any of those other schools to get that education. 20% of our kids who are below or at the state level in reading, writing, and arithmetic grades is disgusting. And yet we'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on football teams, coaches, and all that other stuff. So, my friends, I ask you, please, Mr. Stonsky, I want you to be as open as you possibly can with this board, and I want this board to let's settle down and let's look at what the people need. We haven't done the cuts that we probably should have done in the town. The finance board at least has encouraged, saying, here's where we're going to go next year. I count on you saying for the next budget, here's what this town can afford. and then let Mr. Stotsky, whoever the lucky person is for selectmen, figure it out after that, okay? But put them to work. Say, this is the money you have to deal with, and do it. And let's try and keep some of the politics out of here. Let's do what's good. Today I threw about 15 or 16 cucumbers in the trash pile because we wouldn't, and through our zoning board, let somebody come in and run a farm market in town here. I mean, that was a place for local people to drive down and get fresh vegetables. What are we doing? What are we thinking of in this town? We're not thinking this, we're thinking today. We're not thinking tomorrow or the next week or the next year. So I ask you, if you can keep the politics out of this thing, and Mr. Stotsky and Madam Chairman, let's work together. Let's get this done. If we disagree, let's disagree. Okay? I mean, I've hollered at my friends, the Democrats, at this table for years, but they are still my friends, and I respect them because they put the time and effort in this town, which many people have not.